So the Patriots just punched their ticket to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to leave this up here for everybody. This is how good Drake May is in that Patriots football team, which, quite frankly, is not good. 10 for 21 for 86 yards, 4.1 yards per attempt, 5 sacks, no touchdowns, no interceptions. I will give him that he ran for 65 yards and a touchdown. That touchdown came one play after a fumble by a backup quarterback from the Denver Broncos. They punched it in from, I think, the 6 or 7 yard line of the Denver Broncos. So we're probably going to leave this up here for a little while because I really honestly think that the New England Patriots are the worst team to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl since the 2001 New York Giants, when they went, into the Super Bowl and got absolutely housed by the Baltimore Ravens. Ray Lewis was labeled the Super Bowl MVP, for those of you that can remember that game. This is not a good New England Patriots team, in my opinion. I think I actually tweeted out earlier. It's kind of like a lose-lose for anybody that is a Bills fan, including myself. You can't say anything about the Patriots because it just looks like I'm a sour Bills fan. But the reality of the situation is the Bills are just not good, and they absolutely got lucky. They played the worst quarterback maybe in the NFL, at least on that day for sure, in C.J. Stroud 2 weeks ago. Then they played a backup quarterback this week. Their quarterback has done next to nothing throughout this postseason, although he was in the MVP race, and every fan that I know of the New England Patriots swears that Drake May is the MVP of the NFL. Not the postseason has anything to do with it, because it doesn't. Technically. I think there's probably some voters that will tend to punch their ticket based on how some of these guys do in the postseason, but it's not supposed to be a postseason award. And then tonight, here's the numbers: 10 for 21, 86 yards. I think the Patriots as a whole had 12 yards in the first quarter. 12 yards in the first stinking quarter, and somehow, here we go. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold deep up the right sideline. Oh, my word. How many yards is this? Rashid Shaheed, the trade deadline pickup for the Seattle Seahawks. Exactly what our Buffalo Bills decided not to do, not to pick up anybody. He was a New Orleans Saint until week 13, I believe it was. When was the trade deadline? I forget the date, and I forget which week it was. But what a pickup. Just a straight, what seems to be a go ball up the right-hand sideline of the field. There's Sammy Darnold just laughing. Sam Darnold has a lot to prove this evening. Last year, he had one of the better regular seasons you'll ever have as a quarterback. And come week 18 and then the playoffs, he played slightly less than a middle school quarterback. Throws just a straight-up 0-yard hitch to the right to JSN. Makes a guy miss. Gets 13 yards. I think we got first and goal now. Let's see. They're showing that replay. It looks like a cover 2. Or man on the right side. He just beats the D-back right off the line. Quick feet. Beats him right away. That's Rashid Shaheed. What a pickup, huh? What a pickup at the trade deadline by the Seattle Seahawks. Wow. Coming up big. Boom. NFC Championship. First and goal from the 9 with 11 minutes, 20 seconds left. Handoff right up the gut. I don't know. I got to actually pay attention a little bit more here. I don't know if Charbonnet is a go or not this evening. I think he came up lame last week or some point during the week, and that he was kind of questionable. Shaheed's still tired. He's on the sideline. Anyway, getting back to the Patriots, they're just not a good football team. I honestly think whoever they play, whoever wins this game right now, will beat the Patriots by 2+ possessions. I will actually put my own money, unless there's barring some crazy injury, I would put my money on whoever the favorite is, well, I mean, we know that the favorite is going to come from the NFC, but if they're anything less than 11 points, I'm sorry, yes, anything less than 11-point favorite, I'm blasting them. Patriots just don't have it, although they do have the NFL on their side. I mean, a couple of things during that game were quite suspect, if I may say so. Not saying the referees are blowing that game. The Denver Broncos blew that game. They just were asking to lose, doing whatever they could to lose. Bounced out Kenneth Walker to the right-hand side, touchdown. Seattle Seahawks. Looked to be stuffed up the middle. Makes one hard jab. Brings it flat along the line of scrimmage, out to the right-hand side, around the tackle, right to the corner, front corner of the pylon, or the end zone, right by the pylon. Touchdown, Seattle, 6-0. You know, Verse, that's not a bad play by Verse on Los Angeles, number 0. You know, a stud outside backer, edge rusher type. He actually held that edge. He held the edge, did his job with the contain, just doesn't have the speed to keep up with Walker, who bounced it right around him. Oh, that's kind of odd. You don't see that often. That's a lot of speed. Getting back to that game, a couple of things. They didn't, I think they took for granted that the Broncos had their, backup quarterback. We're going to take a look at Mr. Stidham's numbers here. 17 for 31 for 133. I mean, almost the same type of day. A rating of 63 versus 58, slightly better. Threw that touchdown. Did throw the interception, though. Obviously threw for a few more yards. If you combine, though, he ran for 23. You know what? It would have been really close to the same type of day. So all those that are going to say Drake May won that football game, sorry. However, come down the stretch in the fourth quarter, Stidham obviously made a horrific throw. I don't think that the Patriots even really had to play defense on that interception towards the end of the game. This actually might be it right here. Can't show too much of this. They're going to get – oh, no, that was in the beginning of the game. All right, I'm going to get off of that. They're going to get angry at me. The idea of them giving Stidham almost a little bit too much benefit of the doubt led to a, I think, 50-plus yard bomb from him on their second, I think it was their second drive, setting up 1st and goal, and then the very next play, little play action, sees Cortland Sutton on a flag route, corner route in the back of the end zone, open touchdown. After that, they just brought the house, basically. Sent the pressure, were flying in Stidham's face all night. He didn't know what to do with it. Then the weather became a factor. Then Stidham, I mean, I'll show you this. This we can't really get in trouble for, so let's do this. I want to show you the game. This was the game. This will be the game. Let's come down here. Here we are. If it weren't for this, I broke this down to the end because I want you to tell me if this, in your opinion, this ball was thrown backwards, or if you're like me to where I actually think that this ball was deflected. This should have been treated as a deflected pass.
Picked up by New England. It'll be first down for the Patriots.
They're saying that ball was thrown, and it was a fumble.
All right, Shane.
After all, actually, back in the pocket, the ball incomplete up front. So instead of doing a scoring on this actual fumble,
because if it goes backwards,
after discussion on the field,
they didn't get the 7. They just got the ball and picked it up. But right here, that ball is not thrown back. It might end up
all right, Shane.
spinning and not landing at the same release of where his hand was. Well, you can see from
Does
that
that
angle right
ball
there that
go
ball's
forward?
forward, and if
Because
anything,
if it goes
literally
After
backwards,
that's
discussion
gonna
on
be
the
a
field,
touchdown.
it was
by
a
that
backward
defender
pass by
who
the
was in
quarterback,
Stidham's grill. That's
picked
my.
up by New England. It'll be first down for the Patriots.
But I don't know. They got what they got, and it helped them. And good for Denver. I'm sorry, good for New England. They are in the Super Bowl. Good for him. Tom Brady, 7 rings. New England's fan actually saying something. May over Allen. Tom Brady says fumble. That's not a fumble. It's simply not a fumble. But I mean, obviously, I don't expect anything less from a gentleman whose name is Tom Brady. So I'm with you there. I think maybe we're both a little biased, but in this situation, you're probably more biased than me because I didn't have a dog in the fight. You did. Are you really going to say that that was a incomplete pass? Maybe tomorrow, if things kind of wear off a little bit, right, Tom Brady? Maybe you can come to your senses. I'm only kidding. I'm just busting your chops. But I really think that that was an incomplete pass. But even if it's not, that's a horrible, horrible mistake based on that situation by a backup quarterback who has not really played any meaningful snaps in the NFL. And that just leads, or that just kind of, doubles up what I'm saying, which is, oh, now Stafford chucks the ball down the right side. Same deal. Puka Nacua, 45 yards-ish. Don't know exactly how many. We're missing some big plays. This is just all offense here tonight. 9 minutes, you got 150 yards of offense already. And so 6 minutes of game time have gone through. That's insane. Oh, Puka Nacua. Oh, wow. So he almost started off a slot, got behind his defender, runs to the outside. That's what a great route. And a great ball. And a solid catch up against his body. These guys can catch the football, and it makes you really wonder because I'm watching this game earlier, and there's a lot of people that I don't understand why they're getting paid the money they're getting to make the mental errors that they make on the football field. To the corner of the end zone, Matt Stafford, incomplete. Just out of the arms of Puka Nacua for a touchdown. That means Puka's probably going to take a playoff because that's 2 long, deep patterns for him in a row. Yep. Puka's coming off the field. Okay. Tom Brady also says May over Allen again. No, not even close, if I'm being honest with you. If I'm being honest. You're going to say that I'm just saying this, and I swear to you, no. Drake May, what has Drake May done in the playoffs? Like nothing. Nothing. Drake May has not won a football game for you guys in the playoffs. Matthew Stafford throws the ball up the right side again on a go route. Devontae Adams, it looks like Devontae was held, but, they ruled it uncatchable. Okay, yep, they ruled it uncatchable ball. I don't know. A little bit closer than maybe I would have thought, than they seem to think, but it is what it is. Super Bowl, yeah, you're right. We were just talking about I don't think you were in here for the first second, but we were just saying that I think the Patriots are the worst Super Bowl team since the 2001 New York Giants. And I don't think that what you're saying makes too much sense because there's no way you could tell me that Drake May is better than Josh Allen. I'm sorry. There's no way. Come on, man. There's just simply no way. The 2001 Giants quarterback was Kerry Collins. Kerry Collins over Josh Allen? Does Kerry Collins have a better career than Josh Allen? Was he a better quarterback than Josh Allen just because he made it to a Super Bowl? No way. It has something to do with it. If you can carry your team to a Super Bowl, because you're an extremely good quarterback and your team is below average, well, then you can make the case that a quarterback is the reason why they made it there. But there's also plenty of teams that the quarterback didn't do anything other than just not blow it, potentially, and the team gets to the Super Bowl. That same year, believe it or not, I think it was, I'm going to make sure on this one, 2001 Ravens QB. I think that was Trent Dilfer, if I'm not mistaken. 2001 Ravens quarterback. Yeah, Trent Dilfer. So please tell me Hold on. This is what we're going to do. Trent Dilfer versus Josh Allen. Okay, here we go. I need that head-to-head deal. I don't know where to get it. But we're going to look at Trent Dilfer versus Josh Allen. And see if just because someone goes to the Super Bowl, then that means that they're a better quarterback than those that don't go to the Super Bowl. So basically what you're telling me is that Drake May is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, better quarterback than obviously the Lamars and the Patrick Mahomes of the world and the Joe Burrows. I know Joe Burrow barely played this year, but he's also better than the Jordan Loves already. He's better than the Caleb Williams. The only two quarterbacks that he may or may not be better than. So if Matthew Stafford loses tonight, then Drake May is better than Matthew Stafford. Come on. Let's be honest. I mean, I appreciate you hang with us all the time, Tom Brady. Like I'm okay. I'm thankful for that. That is just a horrible thought. And I don't think anybody on the planet can actually agree with that. It came from the board. May over Allen is a horrible take. I agree with you. Worst AFC Championship game in years. I would say yes, based on the score, maybe. But I actually kind of I thought it was a good game to watch. And I was envisioning that being Buffalo, right? And if it were in Buffalo or not, in Denver or New England, all three of the cities have more than a better chance of having that type of snow and that weather. I think it's a pretty fun game to watch because of that. The Rams, because of that uncatchable ball that Stafford threw to Devontae Adams, had to settle for a field goal. So with 8:15 left in the first quarter, Seahawks are going to get the ball to start their drive at their own, I believe, 35, and they're winning the ball game 7-3. Keep in mind, whoever wins this football game plays the worst team to make the Super Bowl since 2001 in the New England Patriots. It's going to be the theme of this evening. Brad Johnson winning the Buccaneers is another one. Yeah, amen to that. That might even be better than Trent Dilfer and Kerry Collins. I don't know. All three of those guys are just completely average game managers. Kerry Collins had a gun. He could throw the ball deep, I remember. Brad Johnson couldn't throw the ball 20 yards. And Trent Dilfer, I don't know if he could throw it 12. So, yeah, that's a great comparison. I think Buffalo wins that game against New England. Oh, this one today here, if that was if those conditions were in Buffalo or if they were, even if it was in Denver and it was Buffalo against New England, I agree with you. The Buffalo Bills should absolutely be playing the Super Bowl. They kill themselves. The refs, I mean, you can make a million excuses, but the Buffalo Bills are definitely the most talented or the most deserving, I think, team in the AFC. I don't think the Patriots proved that. I don't think the Patriots did enough to write their ticket to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. But what does that really matter? No, it doesn't at all. Right? Doesn't matter. Okay, we got 1st and 10, Seattle. Now on their own 46. Kenneth Walker off the middle to the left side. Huge gaping hole. Gets 7 yards. Taken down. Los Angeles' 47-yard line is going to be second and just, I would say, a short 4 or a long 3. I love that. Brad Johnson. You're absolutely right. Brad Johnson. Where do we find those head-to-head things? You know what I'm talking about. If you go on different social media platforms, they have those graphics that have two quarterbacks' heads or receivers or whoever. Oh, my word. Kenneth Walker just completely crosses up, and maybe he might have broken, I don't know whose it was, but first defender that gets to him almost in the backfield, he absolutely broke his ankles. Made him fall on his face. Gets the first down. He is quick as hell. Spikes. Sorry, bub. You just got twisted like a pretzel. What a move, Kenneth Walker. See, this is the benefit right now. That move that Kenneth Walker just made on a run up the middle, completely lacing a linebacker, making him fall, could not happen in the first game. Because of the weather that was going on in the second half, there was no such thing as trying to plant your foot and really make a hard cut in any direction, because that field screen to Walker, right side, it's about 12 to 15 yards before he's taken down for another first down. Seattle Seahawks are showing no signs of even realizing that the Rams are on the field playing defense. Little play action, then to the slip screen. Perfect timing.
Yeah, honestly.
Offensive lineman in sync. As soon as that ball was released, that's when the offensive lineman went to their next level to go block. Even though they were facing the other way. The running back, Sam Darnold, just in sync. This team is good, boy. They are legit. Hand the ball off, left side over the tackle, got stuffed. -1, actually, I think. Yeah, they're going to lose a yard. So give me someone tell me who's in here that can tell me where I can type in these names, or maybe somebody knows how to make them. What website can I type in two names and get their career stats, side-by-side comparison? I know there's a website, because that graphic that I'm talking about, I think. 2 photos of just the headshots, and then below both of them, yards, completions, attempts. Little quick out pattern to JSN on 2nd and 10. How was that 2nd and 10? That was not 2nd and 10. I'm telling you, the NFL and these people, more so the broadcast, they do not know how to look at a football field and say how many yards to gain there are. They don't. Kenneth Walker on a first down literally got stopped for -1 to 2 yards, somewhere in between 1 and 2 yards. How could it be 2nd and 10? It's impossible. This happens more and more often during these games. We now have 3rd and 2, it says. Yep, 2.5. Motion by Shaheed, I formation. Big boy behind Darnold, not Kenneth Walker. Play action. He rolls to his left. Finds, oh, no, he did not. No, he did not. Jackson Smith-Njigba just ran a little mediocre, a medium-level crossing pattern. Oh, my word. Play action. Sam Darnold throws an absolute perfect ball. He extends his right arm only, fingertip, palms that thing, gets 2 feet in for a first down. Catch of the playoffs. It's unbelievable. This guy has just hit the scene like an absolute maniac. I cannot believe this catch. I mean, perfect throw as well, but that second arm didn't come into play at all. He literally caught the ball like this, but full extension, got 2 feet in. Unbelievable what some of these guys can do. What an effort by Jackson Smith-Njigba. See how team's scary. 2nd and goal from the 9. Shaheed to the left, JSN to the right. Hands the ball off Kenneth Walker over the right side. Jumps. I don't know what he's jumping over. The man is like 5'6". I don't know what he's going to jump over. He got about 4 yards, but a flag is on the field now. We got some laundry. Holding offensive line. Going to bring that back. Make it a little bit more difficult for the Seahawks. Go figure, right? Okay, yeah. Then that's definitely a hold. But again, I'm just going to throw it out there that every other person on the offensive line and or defensive line holds every single play throughout an NFL football game. That's 100%. What makes them choose which plays to actually throw the flag and call the holding? I've still yet to find out. And I'd love to. I just don't know when that'll happen. Sam Darnold, another screen to Walker to the right side, 20, 15, 10-yard line. It's going to be third and goal now, back down about the 9-yard line after that penalty. So not a bad job. They picked up all the penalty yardage. Picked up all the yardage back, third and goal from the 9. So Mac Hollins was reactivated today after taking a few weeks off due to a abdominal injury. Came up big with a really big third down conversion. Sam Darnold to his left. I mean, the pass was incomplete and hit the ground. Everyone's complaining, looking for a flag and nothing. Going after his tight end, who was out in the trips formation in the slot. Yeah, the Rams want offensive pass interference for hands to the face on their tight end. They're not going to get it either way. We're going to be setting up a field goal attempt here for the Seahawks. 58 seconds left in the first quarter. So someone explained to me, actually, Tom Brady, if you're still in here or anybody, literally curious as to how we think that the New England Patriots are a fantastic football team. And while you try to explain that, I'm hoping that the first words out of your mouth is defense. Because if it wasn't for that, oh man, I don't know. I'm not convinced that the Patriots, I'm still not convinced that the Patriots are a good football team. What tests have they had? What have they done? I know they're about to play in the Super Bowl, and congratulations to them, but what have we done? What have the Patriots actually done? What have they accomplished this season? And please don't tell me the Bills, because you're also saying that Drake May over Josh Allen and that the Patriots are much better than the Bills. So then it shouldn't be that good of a deal, right, if you beat the Bills, if the Bills are horrible. So don't say they beat the Bills. That won't work anymore because of what you're saying. Just pulling this up here. Fourth place schedule, 4 games versus backup quarterbacks. Only team they played over 500 was the Bills. Relaxer. Thank you, Relaxer. It's exactly where my mind's going, and I'm waiting, and I was hoping that someone that was in here like Tom Brady, who's always usually with us, can explain to me why he made this statement earlier. May over Allen. Then said it was an absolute fumble by Stidham, which I was second-guessing, and I don't know that it is. He said May over Allen again, and then he said because of the Super Bowl, only because they're in the Super Bowl. That's why. So I don't understand it. I'm just waiting for the explanation. But, yeah, all right, so fourth place schedule. Fourth place schedule. Do you mean the fourth easiest schedule? They couldn't possibly have had the fourth hardest schedule, right? There's no way. Because you're not going to get that, obviously, if the only team that they played all season ended up with at the end of the season, I think this is what you mean, Relaxer. The only team that the Patriots played all year, when it was all said and done, only one of those teams had a 500 record or better. That's obviously regular season. But that's pathetic. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, I understand. Understood. Yes, I get you. Okay. Yes, they had a fourth place schedule set up for them because they were in such bad shape last year. Yes, I understand that. But listen, with all the parity in the NFL, just because their schedule is supposed to be, a little bit lax comparatively, does not mean that it's a guarantee that they're playing a weak schedule. You know what I'm saying? These teams are going to be flip-flopped from time to time, and you don't always, they can only do what they can in terms of assuming that they're going to play the easier road, but that does not mean that they will. I mean, look at some of these playoff teams, right? Right, we played the Eagles and they played the Giants. Yeah, makes sense. They almost killed Jackson Dart, and we had our number 2 cornerback hurt in the game against the Eagles. I'm with you. I'm with you there. Let's go back to, all right, so let's take a look at, now that we're on the topic. All right, first game of the year against the Raiders, loss. Yeah, the Raiders were literally the worst football team in the NFL, and I think they're going to have the first pick of the draft. Beat the Dolphins. Lost to the Steelers. Kyron Williams up the gut for Los Angeles, up to the 50-yard line. That's going to wrap up the first quarter. 10-3 Seattle. The Rams are going to have first and 10 around midfield when we start the second quarter after the break. So game 3, they lose to the Steelers. Yep, they were 1-2, and then they come back. They pounce on the Panthers, rightfully so, and then they find the Bills. This was great by them. I mean, this huge win. The 4-0 Bills hosting the Patriots, who were at that point 2-2. I mean, it was a great win for the Patriots. I gotta admit it. They deserved that game, but they didn't win the game. I don't want to say they deserved it. They didn't win the game, just like every other game that we're talking about. They didn't go out and win it. The Buffalo Bills turned the ball over 3 times. And they were really unforced errors, if I'm being honest. So I don't know how much I can say that the Patriots even deserve to beat the Bills. I'm not making this about the Bills right now, but the Bills lost the games that they lost just this year because of their own mistakes. Honest to goodness. I don't think that they lost one football game where they were even tied in turnover margin or differential. And a lot of unforced errors, man. Unforced errors, even turnovers that weren't at all necessary. So then they beat the Saints. Terrible. Yeah, Steelers. Didn't the Steelers end up 8-9? Pretty sure the Steelers ended up their season 8-9. Did they not? Someone correct me. So they were under 500. That's probably what relaxer meant. Dolphins, Raiders, Steelers, Panthers, Bills, Saints, Titans, again, almost dead last. Browns, horrible. Falcons, no good. Another one that, they won by a point here. Another one that the Bills just crapped themselves. Buccaneers ended up losing their division to Panthers. Jets, of course. Bengals. Without Joe Burrow, by the way. Okay. They did not get the full Bengals. Not even close. The Giants, yeah, there that was. They almost killed Jackson Dart. Literally almost died that night. Then they lost. They gave up the huge lead to the Bills. The Ravens. I will say they played the Ravens kind of at a time where the Ravens were trying to make a push, so I'll give them a little bit of credit there for sure. The Jets and the Dolphins. And Relaxer is making a good point, even though here they were Puka Nacua end around gets 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 on Seattle's 46-yard line. And there's some scuffling. Puka's helmet's off. Yeah, it was a pretty clean game earlier. There was no nonsense at all. Anyway, this game here against the Ravens, the Ravens did not have Lamar in that game. We talked about Joe Burrow not in this game here. And Relaxer is saying that, Devontae Adams, 30, 25, down to the 22. That's a 24-yard gain. Kind of a mid-post. It's just a strong Devontae Adams getting separation. D-back kind of falls over. Pretty handsy, but he's a veteran. Devontae Adams knows how to get away with using his hands. Relaxer's also saying that the Panthers did not have Bryce Young, but you know what? It's crazy because the schedule, neither did the Bills also faced what's his name? Andy Dalton, I believe. Oh no, see, look at this. Look at this here. Relaxer. Maybe a different game you were thinking of. This is Patriots crushed the Panthers, but Bryce Young played the majority of that bulk of that game. He was 18-30. He had 30 attempts. So he had to play the majority of that game. Then Andy Dalton only had 6. How did we miss that? Why did it? There we go. So either way, that's another crossing pattern, like a dig route to Devontae Adams on 2nd and 10, right at the first down marker. Pass broken up, incomplete. 3rd and 10 now. Either way, they also played the Chargers in the first round of the playoffs. And Justin Herbert has basically a broken hand. The Chargers no longer have their offensive line. Excuse me. And it's just simply Justin Herbert's he's not good in the playoffs now. We can make that claim. Matthew Stafford sacked, fumbles. Rams fall on the football, thank goodness, on 3rd and 10. They're going to have 4th and, I don't know, about 15 or 18 maybe on the 33-yard line. That fumble could have really ruined 3 points for this Rams team. Now, Matthew Stafford had his helmet almost taken off by the Seahawks. Who's this? Lawrence, their edge rusher, number 0. Big old face mask that was missed. But nevertheless, we're going to have 4th and 19. It's going to be a 50-yard field goal for the big boy. Oh, he lets her rip, and it's good. Through the uprights on the right side. He's a stud. He doesn't miss much. He does not miss much. Mar went down halfway through the game. Oh, okay. And so did I don't know exactly when it was. I think it was more towards the end, but so did Bryce Young for the Panthers. Either way you look at this, this is a horrible, horrible schedule. The Texans, that's their divisional game. You want to see something that's going to make you just laugh? I'm going to zoom this in here. That's who they played last week. C.J. Stroud, 20 for 47, 212 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, 3 sacks, and a QB rating of 28. Oh, boy. 28. And he ran for, 11. 2 rushes for 11 yards. Now, just so we're on the same page here, you need to know that C.J. Stroud, that was not as if the New England Patriots just created these massive amount of turnovers by C.J. Stroud for the first time ever. Oh, no. No, C.J. Stroud had the worst game of all time, even the week before. I think he might have had a worse game. What was his passer rating? This one that we just showed, I think it was 28. Let's look at his game against Houston the week before. Now, granted, a very good team. Very good team. Did I say Houston? He's on Houston. I meant Pittsburgh. Let's look at this. This was in the wild card round. Where do I find it? Thank you. Box score. C.J. Stroud. Okay, 21 of 32 for a touchdown and interception. Down here, though, it's going to say 1 carry for 0 yards. Look at this. 5 fumbles and an interception the week before. 5 damn fumbles. Thankfully, 3 of those 5 were recovered by his own team, or they actually would have lost against the Steelers. So it's not what I'm saying is that the Patriots didn't just get in C.J. Stroud's head and create some turnover machine. No, C.J. Stroud literally fumbled the ball 5 times and threw an interception the week before. So his 4 interceptions against New England was not a byproduct of New England just making him into this nervous Nelly quarterback. No, he was bad anyways. Back to the point that the New England Patriots have just had an easy road, and now today they run into Jared Stidham. Jared stinking Stidham. We already talked about that. And here we go. Jared Stidham, 17 of 31, 133. A 63 rating. The interception at the end of the game was absolutely pathetic. They didn't even need to play defense. I don't know what that was about. He literally did not need to play defense. They did not need to play defense. Horrible. And then the fumble, you can say what you want. I don't think it was a fumble, but it was horrible timing to make a stupid boneheaded mistake like that. And he's not very athletic. He wasn't running with the football. I mean, he was trying to, but instead of Bo Nix's 10 or 12 yards, he got 4. He was just lacking that top end speed after 4 or 5 steps. He couldn't get to his top speed until way too late, like Bo Nix can. 1st and 10. Seattle's on the Rams 49-yard line, and in shotgun, Sam Darnold just botches the ball, bobbles the ball, gets behind him, runs back, falls on top of it. We're going to have second. Oh, and where were they? We're going to have 2nd and 18 or so, I think. Yeah, I mean, the snap was about waist high, maybe a little lower than that. Not a bad snap. He just missed it. Just missed it. 2nd and 19, they're labeling it as. But we already talked about that. Who knows if it's actually 19 or not. That's just what the Fox crew says. It could be anything. They have no clue. Darnold on shotgun, empty backfield, gets the pressure, and he's sacked for 7-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd and 26, I believe. 3rd and 26. This game came out hot, and now the tempo seems to be slowing down a bit. Yep. And here's your boy Drake May, baby. 10 for 21, 86 yards. Yeah, love it. 58.8%. 58.8 QB rating. Phew. You know, I don't know what this really means, but the bottom line is, to me, the Buffalo Bills should somewhat feel, in my opinion, slightly embarrassed. Because, like it or not, even though this is not a very good team, and we're talking about it, you know, your division rivals who you have escaped and evaded for the last 7 years are back in action now and full time. Full blown, baby. And it's not going to change anytime soon because they are a young team and they're going to be there. And regardless, Drake May is a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. I don't think he's MVP worthy, but he's a good quarterback. He's not going anywhere. He's in his 2nd year. So the Buffalo Bills, who do have the greatest quarterback, in my opinion, in the NFL, and you can make the argument for the greatest offensive line. Statistically, depending on what statistic you're looking at, the best secondary in football. You have the league's leading rusher in James Cook, who, by the way, doesn't even come close to the all-pro team. What? How the hell does that work? But anyway, that's whatever. So there's a lot of positives for the Buffalo Bills. They just can't get it done. They just can't get it done. And here you go. This weak football team is playing in the Super Bowl, like it or not, out of your division. So not only did they steal your division from you, they won the games that you couldn't win, regardless of why. Regardless. And now you need to figure something out because they're in the Super Bowl with a brand new head coach. Okay, this is his first year as the Patriots head coach. So being that you, Buffalo Bills, just fired your head coach, I don't want to hear, which we did, the owner who just fired the coach saying that the new coach is not going to have a Super Bowl or bust label in the first year because you can't ask someone to go to the Super Bowl the first year they're head coach of an organization. That is Terry Pegula's words. Well, guess what? Your arch rivals up in New England just freaking did it. So don't tell me it's not Super Bowl or bust anymore. Okay? Literally, they did exactly what you need to do after firing your head coach that turned your organization around. I mean, the pressure's going to be on whoever it is, no question. But the pressure's really right now on the front office and the owner. And Bills Mafia needs to pressure these people. I think it'd be more than deserving to put pressure on the front office, even more so than there has been in the past. I did read that, although we might not be close, I did not see it. I did not sign it. I did read that there's a website out there, kind of like a GoFundMe type thing, that creates petitions for people to e-sign. Did you hear this?
What?
E-signatures.
What about it?
On the petition?
For McDermott?
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't hear that.
And last I checked, and I think this was yesterday, there were 60,000 signatures via this e-signature website that creates petitions for him to be re-signed as the Buffalo Bills head coach. Somebody created it and got 60 plus. I'm gonna look it up here and I'll pull it up. McDermott reinstatement petition. Let's see if I can find it. Where is it? Change.org. Okay. Oh my word. Reinstate. Here we go. You guys see this? Look at this over here. Reinstate.org. This is insane. So now the number 78,277. This is one person did this. I've been a long-time Buffalo Bills fan for 40 years, and the reason, I mean, this is long, but Maria Maisonette, petition starter, one lady, the decision makers, Kim Pegula, Terry Pegula, Buffalo Bills management, awaiting response. This is obviously never going to happen, but this is funny. This is funny. It's funny that they did it, and I would have to assume that this lady, Maria, would have thought that this was just more so a joke than anything else, right? But then you look up and you got 78,000 other people that signed the dang thing, and then you might say to yourself, well, okay, I don't know, maybe this is real. 2nd and 5 from their own 28. Matthew Stafford hits Parkinson for about 7 yards. Yep, we got a first down. This is crazy. Look at all these people. Photos. So crazy. You know what else is funny to me about this situation? Throughout the year, and actually this has been for a few years in a row now. Matthew Stafford dropped back 1st and 10. Puka Nacua, like a little belly seam route, a tight post route. He's just a stud. And Matthew Stafford's got an arm unlike anybody else. These are the throws that Matthew Stafford's making that Drake May cannot make. Okay, I'm just telling you. He just doesn't make these throws. Drake May, I've been watching him, been watching some film, watching some game replays, and been paying attention here the last 6 or so weeks than I did in the beginning of the year. Obviously, probably like everybody else. Drake May throws a great deep ball, but we were noticing tonight, even before the weather became an issue, he throws a great deep ball. He's got nice air on it, kind of lofts it. Really good touch, hitting his people in stride. Other than that deep ball, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have a great arm. And he does not he's not really slinging balls into windows. He's either up over the top or massive checkdowns. I haven't seen much intermediate game as of late from Drake May. It's either up over the top, which obviously he has the best receiver in deep ball targets in the NFL out of Kayshawn, I think it's Kayshawn Boutte, the best receiver. 2nd and 10, handoff of the middle. Draw. Blake Corum bounces the ball out to the left-hand side. He gets 15 or so yards, first down. Quick feet, number 22 here, Blake Corum. On the right hash, draw, opens up to the left, but then he bounces it all the way outside the numbers to the left-hand sideline from the right hash. Really good vision. Good feet, good cut. It's hard to find that or chase him down, too. I can't believe this is insane. So there's been a lot of hate towards Sean McDermott, though, over the last few years, and I feel like there's been more people saying we should fire him, get rid of him. He's horrible. He's the problem. This is insane. He can't coach games, 13 seconds, missed field goals. He's ruining Josh Allen's career. And then he gets fired, and now nobody's saying anything other than why was he fired? It's a little odd. Little odd to me that all of these people are now just dead ass silent. I think it's kind of one of those things like be careful what you wish for. When they said it, they were clearly just talking shit. They didn't actually mean it because now that it happened, no one says thank you about time. 2nd and 8, Puka Nacua again. Left side for 7 yards. See, Stafford's got the arm talent to make every NFL throw. Within a game, he literally makes them all. We saw him with a go route down the right-hand side. We saw him with a deep post to Puka Nacua. We saw him with a slant post to Devontae Adams. We've seen him with multiple quick outs for 5-6 yards. We saw just recently Puka Nacua with more of a belly seam route. He nailed that as well. He makes every throw to both sides of the field. Drake May does not. He does not. 3rd and 1, handoff over the right-hand side, first down. Is that Corum again? Who is that? I can't see who received that carry. Stafford 6 of 11 for 104. It's crazy. Let me refresh this. Are these still? Oh, they're still filing in here. They just got 22 or something in like 2 minutes. Unreal. 1st and 10 from the 11 of Seattle. There's a whistle before the snap. Timeout somebody. Timeout Los Angeles. They're going to have 2 left. There's only 2:40 left in the second quarter. That's the first timeout for Los Angeles. Seattle has not used a timeout. So what is Los Angeles going to want to do here? They're going to want to run the football, try to take off some more time. Well, it's not going to happen. They're going to take off more time, but try to force Seattle to use their timeouts, being that there's only 2:40 left. Love McVay sprinting down to the referee calling that timeout. Didn't like what he saw out of that defensive lineup, I guess, for the Seahawks versus the play that they had called and ran up to the line of scrimmage with. He did not like the matchup there, so he quickly gets a timeout, which I love. He was sprinting to that referee. Yes, 4th place in the division. Yes, they do. Corum with a little toss to the right-hand side over the tackle gets 1.5. They are Seattle's letting the clock run. They have 3 timeouts. We're at 2:27 and counting. If I'm Seattle, I'm calling that timeout right there. Right there. Because in essence, you have 4 timeouts, but that's 30 seconds you could have saved. This is going to be the last play before the 2-minute warning. If they're smart, at least the Rams. 205, 204, Puka in motion, 203, 202, 201. 2-minute warning. What is Seattle doing? Why would Seattle let 35 seconds run off the clock when they have 3 timeouts? They're up 10-6. Los Angeles is on their 9-yard line, 2nd and 8. Literally, that play was over with 2:35 left. I don't get it out of Seattle. I really don't. Unless they think 2.5 minutes is too long. They don't want to give Matthew Stafford the ball back again. They think they're going to score a touchdown in 2 minutes. I don't know, man. That just seems odd to me. You literally just let 35 seconds just piss down the drain. I'm assuming that they had to have actually wanted that, right? That's their goal. They must have wanted that. 78,299 in the petition to bring Sean McDermott back. I love it. I love it. So either one of these teams are going to, yes, like we were talking about, yep. Either one of these teams is going to beat the New England Patriots. And if there's anything under 11 points for the line that Vegas sets for the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, I'm going all in. Those are bad words, but yeah, I'm going heavy. There's nothing that will, unless other than injury, there's nothing that will make me think that the Patriots can hang within 8 points of either one of these two teams. Nope. The only thing would be if the Seattle Seahawks win, it'll be more so which quarterback's going to make more mistakes, because both defenses are pretty good. Seattle's is better, in my opinion. But then you got 2 younger guys, although Sam Darnold's been around a little bit longer. But Drake May just hasn't cut it. He threw an interception on the first possession of his playoff career, by the way. Either one. If it's anything under 11, I'm taking it. The only thing that the Patriots have for them is that the NFL loves them. They're the darling, so to speak. And Vegas knows that. So I don't know what that line will be. I don't. And here we go. 2nd and 8 from the 9-yard line of Seattle. Los Angeles has the ball. I don't know why Seattle just let the time go down, but here we are. 2-minute warning. We're coming right out of the 2-minute warning. Matthew Stafford dumps the ball to a wide open Kyren Williams. Maybe they knew that they were going to score in their next play. The Rams did, so they didn't care about the time going down. Touchdown, Kyren Williams. So it's now 12-10, about to be 13-10. And I hope for everything that Seattle has enough time to go down and score a freaking touchdown. Because if they don't, they just let 35 seconds run off the clock. The play before the touchdown. Like right now, if they had to call a timeout, right now they'd have the ball kicked off to them with 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Right? Yeah, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left instead of 1:55. And they'd have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning in their favor. Bad coaching. Bad coaching. Speaking of bad coaching, the same thing happened in the Broncos game. The same damn thing in the fourth quarter. I don't know what the Broncos were doing. They had the ability to stop the clock at 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and they let it run down to the 2-minute warning. What are you, saving a timeout? You're losing. There's barely any time left in the game. You stop the clock immediately. You have the 2-minute warning in your favor, too. I don't know what. Clock management, time management is actually pretty shitty, if you ask me, in the NFL. A lot of these coaches, I don't know if it's an old school way of thinking versus the new school. I don't know what it is. All these metrics that say advanced analytics that say go for it, not go for it, fourth and this and the score and the clock management is clock management as far as I'm concerned. Read the game, understand the situation you're in. And when you need time to slow down, well, then make it freaking slow down. And if you don't, well, don't. It's not that difficult. I swear they don't have a clue what they're doing. Well, that's a little harsh. I'm not saying they don't have a clue, but I swear they could do a lot better, put it that way. And a lot of them, not just onesie-twosie. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. There's about, can't really see, it's dark now. 7:45 here, but there's probably a 12 to 15 inches maybe out there. I'm not really too sure. But it's a decent amount. It was pretty nasty earlier, and I don't think it's really slowed down. So, let's talk a little bit about, yes, you're right. Nobody on the Rams team is in the magnifying glass right now for the Buffalo Bills, I don't believe, for that head coaching vacancy. But Clint Kubiak from the Seattle Seahawks, who I don't know if they've talked about any on the broadcast, but he is the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator currently. He is slated to interview with the Buffalo Bills for their head coaching role. Now, as the rules state in the NFL, though, being that his team is still alive in the football playoffs, teams cannot contact them and or interview anyone that's on that coaching staff or on those rosters for a potential job until after they're eliminated. So the Rams take the first play from scrimmage after the Seahawks run their first play from scrimmage after the Rams touchdown. A handoff to the right side, bounces it outside. It actually looks like he might have gotten out of bounds for only a couple of yards, 1:49 left. I don't know why you're running the football either. What are you doing? You have 3 timeouts? You got 1:49. Let's roll, Seattle. From their own 36. So no one can be spoken to. Clint Kubiak cannot be spoken to. However, who can be spoken to now is the Denver Broncos. Incomplete over the middle, attempted to Cooper Kupp. It's going to be 3rd and 9, 144. The Rams got a chance to even get this ball back with 2 timeouts. Score again. Davis Webb, the Denver Broncos QB coach, is now legally or within the rules now allowed to be contacted, by any NFL team in terms of giving them an opportunity for a interview or a job offer or what have you, anything that they want to do. Sam Darnold throws an absolute bullet pass to his running back coming out of the backfield, just zips it right past his head, bounces off his shoulder pad, incomplete. Seattle's going to have to punt. Let's see, was it Clit? No, it wasn't. Came quicker than he thought and just beat him. Before he could even get his hand on it, it was past his head. They're punting. 141 left. So Davis Webb is now available to be contacted. And I believe that he's on the list of those that are going to be interviewed by the Buffalo Bills. Now, Davis Webb is known to be one of these quote-unquote great young minds of football, especially offensively. He's a quarterback's coach. But he also has been quoted in the past saying that he is basically his best friend is the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. And now that we've realized that the Buffalo Bills have admitted the fact that Josh Allen is going to be an integral part of the decision-making process for the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills, one would think that it'd be difficult for Josh Allen to lean in a different direction for his choice of the head coach of the team other than his best friend, David Webb. Does Josh Allen have it in him to look past his best friend in the event that there's actually a better candidate for the football team and for the organization, and quite honestly, for himself to actually win a Super Bowl, which should be the only goal that anybody in that building has. And the goal needs to be for winning a Super Bowl in 2026. Well, the 26-27 season. I don't know. Can he admit it? Would he be able to admit that? You know, hey, this is my best friend. Yeah, I understand it, but I don't think he's the guy. It's probably easier said than done if they are indeed best friends. That was a quote from Davis Webb. But he was Josh Allen's backup for 3 years in Buffalo. So, you know, there's a good chance that they're good buddies because I know that right now, Mitch Trubisky and Josh Allen seem to be pretty damn close. And he's the Bills' current backup quarterback. So why not prior to him? Why wouldn't they be, right? And his career was obviously cut relatively short. He never got a starting role. He got into coaching pretty early on. I don't know what they're going to do, but now they can actually speak to Davis Webb, and they have to wait. They have to wait for Clint Kubiak. And nobody from – wait, I thought there was one more. Nobody from the Rams, right? And nobody from the Patriots. So that's it. That's it. They're probably going to interview Webb tomorrow, if I had to guess. And after that, I'm looking to see if there's any updates that I can see maybe on X. We have, okay, yeah, they can, yes, we know that. One would have to think that they really, probably their number one target would be Clint Kubiak because other than him, he's the only remaining interview that they have. They've spoken to everyone else on their list. If they have not made a decision yet, they're waiting for Kubiak. And if somebody blew them away enough up to this point, why would they wait for that one guy unless he wasn't their first main target? Does that make sense? I was kind of hoping that Udinski today was going to blow them away, and they were just going to offer him the job. And I don't even know why. Maybe because I just want it to be over with. That's probably mostly it. I mean, I'm really intrigued by this kid, but I say kid because he's literally younger than me by quite a few years. It's only 30. He's got everything you read. Here's a quote from one of his ex-bosses in the NFL. Kevin McConnell says, interviewing Grant Yabinski was like interviewing someone who could build a car from scratch, but he was interviewing for a job at a car wash. I mean, that says something about him. Oh, jump ball thrown to Puka up the left-hand side. But there was whistles before the ball was even thrown. I don't know. This is a botched play, a broken play. I don't know. Timeout right before the snap. It's going to be 3rd and 5. 3rd and 5. So that's a hell of a quote. I don't see anything new here. Although, again, because there's nothing, that probably just means they're waiting for Yabinski or Kubiak. Yeah. See, listen to this. See, here we go. This is how it's going to change. And don't get me wrong. You can't make this stuff up. Here's Stafford's 3rd and 5 to the right side, incomplete. Wouldn't have had it anyways. Would have been 4-yard gain. He was on the ground already. We see this? This is what I don't understand. I mean, and we'll see. I mean, I might have to eat my words. So we have Drake May's path. No QB has ever beat the three top five defenses to get to the Super Bowl until now. I'm not seeing. I understand their numbers, but Drake May didn't beat anybody. I mean, I'm being serious. Drake May did not beat a single team in these playoffs at all. Dave Portnoy says, unreal, toughest path to the Super Bowl of all time for the Pats, and we still did it. And people still wonder who the MVP is. Oh, well, Dave Portnoy, we all know he just says shit. He just talks out of his ass. He's an enormous Patriots fan. They're definitely not the toughest path to the Super Bowl. That's a joke. That's an absolute joke. Based on what? Just ranked defenses with yards against? That's all it is. Yards against. Yards given up, which is not everything. That's all this is based on. The Texans are a great defense. Broncos are pretty good. The Bills just hung 30 points against the Broncos last week. Just saying. Just saying. Drake May face the toughest path to the Super Bowl in playoff history. No QB's ever at 3. Yeah. See, I don't know. I'm just put some respect on Drake May's name. No thanks, Robert Griffin. I actually agree with 99% of what you say, Robert Griffin, if I'm being honest. Because I think you actually stand up for some things that some people will not. And you have the balls to do that, which I appreciate because most people don't. But just for the same reason that most people don't is for I feel like why people are saying these things, and this is mainstream media. This is mainstream media. Although Chase Daniel, what are you doing, Chase Daniel? I don't think he works for a network. Oh, he's an ESPN guy still? All right, so he's still an ESPN guy. When they work for these large enterprise companies, you never know what they're being told they have to say. Relaxer. Stidham was the best QB in the playoff. Exactly. This is my point. This is 100% my point. How I'm not. It's actually confusing me how people are saying this. But now we know Chase Daniels, right? We understand that. Why, I'm saying. Unreal, dude. Yeah, that's a good point. Steph Diggs. Stephen freaking Diggs is going to the Super Bowl. After all that shit everybody talked about him, he created this, that, and the other thing for the Bills locker room. Well, that boy's going to the playoffs. He might go to jail right after, but he's going to the Super Bowl. prosecutors decided to bring that entire case down after the Super Bowl, the date of the Super Bowl. Another reason why you could make a case that the NFL and everybody has the power to do what they want to do. As if they almost knew that the Patriots were making the Super Bowl. So they decided to have this court hearing and this, the starting of this trial or whatever this is going to be happen and start after the Super Bowl. That's odd. That's very odd. Very freaking weird. I hope all that stuff on him is incorrect. That's all I'm saying. Because that's brutal. Brutally nasty what we're listening or what we're seeing out of his corner. Almost halftime, 44 seconds. We're actually going to have to go plow at some point here. Not looking forward to it. But it has to be done. Sam Darnold steps up in the pocket. Let her rip. Cross the middle. JSN catch the ball on Rams' 22-yard line with 35 seconds left. They got to call a timeout, do they not? JSN is just an absolute – okay. So let's talk about this real fast, shall we? These two teams both have solidified – there's 3 of them on the field. Well, maybe 3.5. Solidified number 1 wide receivers on these teams. Both of these teams have. This dude, JSN, Jackson Smith and Jigba, is an absolute freakoid. He's not that big of a guy. He runs a fake corner back to the post route. I don't think he's all that tall. I mean, he's built, strong guy. 6 catches for 102 yards already for JSN, by the way, on 7 targets. So he's got strong hands, a strong catch. Nothing really bobbles around. It's just as soon as there's contact with his hands and or his body, it's a solid catch right away. And then obviously the Rams have Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. And then you can make the case for, even though he's not really that anymore, Cooper Kupp, who once at one time was a number 1 receiver. Both of these teams show the example. Little dump pass to Holani, yes, the 3rd string running back, I believe, for Seattle. That ends up getting 11 yards for another first down. 1st and goal now with 30 seconds left. Seahawks take their second timeout. They both are showing you what you can do if you have a number 1 wide receiver, which is what the whole world is saying the Buffalo Bills are lacking, have been lacking, and need to address immediately. I'm not saying that I disagree with it. I'm not saying I'm an enormous proponent of having a $23 million a year receiver either, but they're making the case. They're showing you what you can do if used effectively and used the right way. All right, first goal from the 9. 30 seconds left. LA is up 13-10 over the Seahawks. Pre-snap penalty, false start on the Seahawks. That's no good. It's the last thing that I wanted to bring up there with these receivers are just insane. All of them. And all of them are putting up. All of them made plays tonight already. It's not even halftime. Every one of them. Just going to try to bring up the stats here. Oh, whoo. Darnold throws the ball over the middle to JSN again. A little bit up in the air. Looks like it was 19 feet in the air. JSN jumps, I don't know how high, just feet, snags the ball in the air, but his momentum brings him out of bounds. Guy's just flying around, just doing silly things. Where are we here? Okay. Puka, 4 for 75. Devontae, 1 for 23. Just deep chunks. And then here, look at this. JSN, 6 for 108. Now 8 targets. Another target in the end zone, wide open. JSN, as we're speaking about him, touchdown Seattle. That game is now going to be 17-13 with 20 seconds left in the first half. That's what you can do. So this target line or this box score now is 7 for 115 with a touchdown off of 9 targets. Unreal. Sam Darnold, great job of standing in there because he got hit in the mouth in that play. He still put it where he needed to. But that's what you can do with a number 1 receiver. As soon as the game reaches halftime, I think we're going to head out for the evening. At some point, I'm going to have to figure out when and how I'm going to plow the dealership's lot. I don't know. It's going to happen. It's a great game. It's going to end up probably right down to the wire. It's going to be a 3-point game, one way or the other, within 3 points, most likely. A field goal might win it at the end of regulation. That's a distinct possibility, in my opinion. Okay, they're about to kick the ball off. Seattle does. It's received at the goal line. Up to the 20, 25. Gets hit, falls forward to about 28-yard line. 15 seconds left. So now you got the Rams with the football. They're down 4 points, 17-13. They have 1 timeout and 13 seconds left. 15 seconds left. I forget which one. On their own 28-yard line. What are they going to do? They're just going to hand the ball off going to halftime? Or are they going to try to at least attempt to put some points on the board, which is also a possibility. We'll see. We're going to wrap up halftime. We're going to head out for the night. Well, he's in shotgun. He's not handing the ball off. Dropping back over the middle to tight end. Higbee, I believe, up to the 41, gets brought down. Do they call a timeout? Yes, they do. So they got 12 yards. They got a decent chunk. You got 8 seconds. What do you have to get for field goal? You're on the 41 right now, your own 41. You got to get at least, 20 yards? I think. 40, 50, yeah, I think about 20 yards. Mavis here is got a big leg. I don't know what his career long is. I don't know what he was kicking warm-ups here in Seattle because that wind obviously can be a real thing, but it looks as if the flags on top of the goalposts are not even moving. So I don't know. He might have the ability to put one in from deep here tonight. But either way, they're going to need about 12 or 20 yards, I think. That place is running at 112 on the decibel meter. That is loud. They just showed the screen. That is loud. Seattle's now going to call their last timeout, not using it to ice the kicker, or if they'll even have to or try to do that. So, yeah, Los Angeles is going to need to get 20 yards and get out of bounds really quickly here within 8 seconds. So, there needs to be 7 seconds or less. They need 20 yards and to get out of bounds. Seattle gets the ball in the second half. That's probably a big reason why the Rams are really putting in the effort here to try to get some points before half, because if they don't, they're going to walk into the second half down 4, and Seattle gets the ball. Now, if Los Angeles is getting the ball, I would suspect that they might be a little bit more cautious on this last drive here. 6, 5, 4, 3. This is going to be the last play. Matthew Stafford takes off and runs the ball. Gets past midfield to the 45. Then fumbles. The whistle blew, but Seattle are still running the football back towards the end zone. 20, 15, 10. He's going to walk in the end zone. However, it should be halftime. I heard the whistle myself. That's Nick Emenwari. I wanted the Buffalo Bills to draft him. That's going to be it. That's halftime. 17-13, Seattle Seahawks. If this game comes down to the last second and it's something crazy, maybe we'll hop on one more time. That's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you, everybody. Per always, as always, if you're not yet, please subscribe to the channel. Like this video and hit that the notification bell so you can tell every time we're going to be online. A lot going on with the Bills. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what direction they're going. They threw some curveballs at us as well with Phillip Rivers, who I still think I would love to see him as a quarterbacks coach to some extent, at least with the Bills in that organization, helping Josh Allen. One would think that Kubiak is higher on their list because they didn't offer anybody anything. They didn't hire anybody. And he's the only one that they have not spoke to yet that's on a team that they can't speak to until they're eliminated from the playoffs. Now that Denver has been eliminated, they can speak to Davis Webb. I don't know what the seriousness of that is. It seems to me like I wouldn't think that they'd go in a route of taking a non-coordinator or head coach ever in their life in the NFL and bringing him straight to a head coaching role. But maybe that's a splash they're looking to make between Davis Webb and Phillip Rivers. You got two people with no coaching whatsoever. I mean, Phillip Rivers hasn't coached at all in the NFL at any level. He'd be straight from high school right to the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, which he did interview for, by the way. He didn't just interview for the quarterbacks coach. He interviewed for the head coaching role of the Buffalo Bills. So let's not forget about that. As we have updates, as we hear things, we're going to let you know immediately like we always do. Also on TikTok, follow us on TikTok, Cold Front Buffalo as well. That's easier for us to get the shorts out there. YouTube as well. We push them over. And we'll be, we'll start to do some videos, some non-live videos. And if we don't see you later on this evening for the recap of this game, or I'm sorry, the ending of this game, then we will see you most likely throughout the week, either live or just some pre-recorded stuff. So we'll keep you updated best we can. Appreciate everybody. Talk to you later. Have a great night. Go Bills. Cold Front.